What is going on, everybody? Good morning. Blessed Friday. Oh, how much I love that. Blessed Friday indeed. What a beautiful, I was going to say fun Friday, and hope we have a lot of fun today, getting ready for the weekend here. It's been an absolutely fire and important week that we shared together over here, setting it up. It's Friday. We got a lot to cover. It's a quadruple witching Friday. The volume during the U.S. session should be high. Where it ends up, we do not know. But I will be just like throw it out there. If we wind up trading and closing below this support down here today on the Nasdaq, that going into the weekend, that would be ugly. It could happen. Be ready for it. Be ready for anything. We're going to take a look strongly today across the equity markets, the DXY, gold and silver. We're going to focus in on my intuitions kicking in. We're going to be taking obviously a look at the King of Kings, Bitcoin. What? Jordan, the dollar. Brandon asking this question over here, right? Jordan, we're seeing Bitcoin supply decreasing on exchanges, unlike the 2016 Bitcoin. Do you think, Bill Run, do you think it means higher returns this cycle? Brandon, I have no idea. I mean, I do think we see higher returns this cycle. That's something I've been consistent about now for a few months, whether or not that has anything to do with what's going on with the Bitcoin exchanges, not in my analysis, but is that contributing to it? Sure, maybe. Why not? We'll see. It doesn't matter, though. It's just the same thing we're looking at, and that is increasing returns. We're seeing it. What's going on with Bitcoin this morning over here? It's trying to get ready to break. I thought it was breaking yesterday afternoon, about a little less than 24 hours ago, maybe 20 hours ago. It looked like she was getting ready to break out into price discovery. Smacked back down, came back down, testing local support, bouncing off, and it's on the launch pad. She's on the launch pad, whether or not we're going to have a successful SpaceX launch or we're going to have to get back and have the engineers fix things so that we see a successful launch going forward. I don't know, but I do know that it's not a question of if, but when. Bitcoin getting ready. Would love to see this Friday. Would love to see during this session Bitcoin take off with you all and us go into price discovery. We will see. We will see. What are we going to start with today before we get into the equity markets, which, by the way, a little bit off their highs, opening up in about 22 minutes. Let's cover this first and get this out of the way because this is not going to be a heavily focused Bitcoin episode here today. We got over here in this comment, Jordan, how relevant is the pi cycle indicator considering a lot of investors might consider it for an exit? Looks like within the next big pump, we're about to finish and get across. It's a great question. I want to talk about it really quick. And just before I do, it's been a while since I pulled up the pi or a week or two with you, whatever. Let me pull up the pi cycle indicator. I can't even find my indicators over there. As we look at it over here, you got to look at this on the daily. And I mean, I don't see us close to crossing right now. Some people, I guess, are doing the math. They told me, Jordan, by April 15th, we have a cross. I don't know. Listen, if we got a cross, right, if Bitcoin's trading below $90,000 and we get a cross, there's no way I would respect that cross or exit the position whatsoever. Only if Bitcoin is going vertical into the cross would I consider exiting. If it happens, I'm not one who's like, okay, if this happens, then this, and if that happens, then this. No, I focus on what is happening in that moment. Right? What happens if the governments come against Bitcoin and the empire strikes back? And I don't know if that's happening, we'll be focused in on it. But there's a million different variables, and I don't run around like with a chicken without a head. You know, I'm focused and I'm laser focused. There's nothing leading me to believe that we would see a cycle pi cross that would be giving me an exit right now because Bitcoin is not even close to going vertical, showing me that we are going to see some type of double wave top. Could that happen over the next week, 2 or 3? Yeah, it's Bitcoin. Anything could happen. Right now, it's not. And that's that. But going back to this question over here, by the way, this is like, I introduced this channel to my brother, to my dad, to my uncle. We're set, focused on joining the move now and looking forward to the future. Boom. So listen, if you ever see this, I deleted all the, oh no, here they are. I deleted all the comments. If you ever see someone that's impersonating conquer trading and investing because they're basically like an idiot, like text me, here's my WhatsApp number. I will never give you my phone number. Watch out for scammers. It's the internet. Be careful. If I'm ever speaking to you, I'm doing it right here live on the live stream, and that's that. Bond sentiment, extremely oversold where major bottoms formed. Right? Take a look at this over here. You can see the daily sentiment over here, way, way oversold. Could this be look at the green dots at the other times that it was oversold like this? Could we be getting close to the top here in bonds in this? Let's pull them up. Let's pull above it before we do. Remember this chart I showed with the US Treasury cash? We were looking at the downward projection coming off. Yesterday, they had the biggest drop in one day, $271 billion. Working our way back down. That's a lot. That's a huge helicopter drop. Massive money coming around the system, into the system. Where is it going? Where is it going to go? Uber bullish for Bitcoin over here. Let me come to the 3-day chart with you. Let me zoom out here. And obviously, we are looking at just a bit. Did my boy Raul get wrecked on this trade or what? Right? Did he get wrecked or what? Stanley Druckenmiller, right? That's the voice we follow. I brought him to your attention that interview he did with Bloomberg weeks ago when he was talking about and I pointed out, look, he's taking the other side of Raul's trade. You know, who knows what's up? I would love to have access to Stanley to get his thoughts today. Let's get him on Conquering the Markets. The great Stanley Druckenmiller, sit him down and get his thoughts on the 10-year. Follow those who have been right. Follow those who have a track record of being right and consider their opinion. Those that have a track record of being erroneously wrong, I mean, you got to be careful. So what's going on over here? Are we coming into a peak right now? Is this where we're going to see bond peaks? Do we go closer into the strong resistance at 193? I mean, obviously, I don't have the answers to those questions. I don't. I'm just watching it. I'm just making an observation today. But I don't have the, let's say, the inside scoop right now on what is next over here. And we continue to watch it and monitor it. And that's all. And that's what you have to do. That's a position of strength, by the way, is knowing your weakness, right? And just continuing to do what you need to do. Bitcoin maximalists have thought far more deeply about how and why Bitcoin might fail than Bitcoin critics. And when I just talked actually about people that have a history of being right? Those giants, those intellectual giants who 10 years ago game played what was happening today, you have to consider their opinion. They have given way more thought to the flaws of Bitcoin than its critics. Good. VJ. VJ is awesome, by the way. Alan AU. At Alan AU11 on Twitter, if you're not following him, right? SEC has started reviewing once again. This was at the top of the 2017 bull market. The VanEck Bitcoin ETF. Is it going to get approved? Is it going to get approved? Here we go again. It's starting. We could get the first ETF in the US approved in 45 days, or they could extend the review up to 240 days. We will watch and see what happened. That will be gasoline, by the way. That will just be absolute gasoline, in my opinion, on Bitcoin during this bull market phase. Let's see what happens. A couple other things I wanted to share, and they're here. So let me see. Keep your gratitude higher than your expectations. That's conquering the markets all day long. Look at this beautiful thing. Bank of America coming out. The case against Bitcoin, according to the Bank of America experts. That's air quotes, quote unquote, experts. Man, could you imagine calling yourself can you imagine, Anthony Papalano this morning saying these guys, these working 100 hours a week looking for the best investment, and they missed Bitcoin. The case against cars, according to the horse experts. This is pretty big signal over here. Focus in on this. This is Bitcoin has entered the geopolitical stage. You all know the friction taking place on the border between India and Pakistan. As India looks to propose banning cryptocurrency mining, penalizing miners and traders, Pakistan responds, and they're going to provide plans to build pilot cryptocurrency mining farms. Boom. She's getting big. She's getting big. Shane, my wife made me watch your channel, and now I'm addicted. Great. I'm glad you're here with us. Before I get into this fun stuff, let me check back over to the charts. I want to jump over into the S&P 500. We're just getting started here this morning. We're live about 14 minutes, 336 likes. Boom. Thank you for being here this morning, everyone. Thank you for being here together, right? So what else are we looking at over here? So by the way, let me just boom. Less in demand for GBTC if the Van Eck ETF is approved. Listen, if the Van Eck ETF is approved, Grayscale GBTC will be rolling over almost immediately into an ETF as well. They are the first mover. They got the bigger assets under management. I wouldn't sleep on that for a second or think that would be bearish for GBTC. Look at the premium. It's already been negative. I think that's going to self-correct. Watching the equity markets here, we got a lot of volatility possibly ahead on this quad witching day. A lot of volume, getting ready for it. What are the markets doing? S&P futures right now are unchanged, right? S&P, by the way, out of the bull flag, new all-time high, pull back over here. It's into some local support over here. What happens next? Hey, listen, it's even bullish, by the way, just so you all know. If we come back down further, test this broken resistance, hold as support. Very bullish structure in place here on the S&P 500. All right? And I get to talk about it. I get to talk about it because as we over here on February 17th, I put out a video for you and I said, watch out. We may see a correction right now on the equity markets. I don't know that it's going to happen, but be aware it is possible it could happen, and it will be because of the rising yields. Sure enough, we then went into a correction deeper on the Nasdaq. About halfway through, I let you know, listen, in my opinion, it's just a question of when we make new all-time highs, not if. Here we are, new all-time highs. So I feel like, anyway, let's keep going. Nasdaq. Big, little bit of a different perspective over here. Nasdaq had a way deeper correction over here. Nasdaq's steepness of the correction was also much, much steeper. And then you had the breakout, the retest, and where you got smacked back down. Look at the left. Look to the left of the mouse. Look at the resistance area over here and over here. Smack down into support. It's a big level. We want to hold the support on the Nasdaq. If we don't, we could have a big and strong drop. This will become a very important area here on the Nasdaq. We have the confluence of the broken resistance should be support and horizontal support over there. We'll see what happens. I don't know what's going to happen. That's for sure. DXY is into some resistance again this morning. Looks like it's trying to break above. It's taken out that little bit of peak high at 92. It's still looking to clear, and it's in no man's land until we break above 92.54. Below this trend line resistance is not in no man's land. It's got a bearish tint and bias over here. I don't know where they're going to take us today. I don't know. New York is tricky. Those New York traders are tricky. I don't know, but we're going to watch and we're going to see. My eyes are on, by the way, WTI pulled back over here. Is this signaling an end of the reflation trade, or is just this opportunity over here as finally seeing a nice, decent pullback into support? And by the way, much stronger support a little bit below it. I don't know. It's not interesting. I kind of, you guys, those that have been watching know what I did on oil back in 2020. Probably one of the best trades on this channel. But going forward over here, the 4 trades within this range, calling out the channel, the breakout, the retest, the resumption, calling out the profit. Anyway, it's not interesting right now. So I'm moving over to something that is possibly interesting. And my spidey senses are kicking up here on gold and silver, wondering if they are, when I say spidey senses, I'm not like throwing a dart and being like, oh yeah, I take in every day the price action. The human mind, the brain is absolutely extraordinary. And by making the observations every day we do, our subconscious minds do a lot of work over here. I'm noticing we're into resistance, by the way, not just on gold, on silver also, right? As yields have been rising, or spiking, I should say. Yields have been spiking over the last, let's call it 48 hours. Gold and silver are holding their own and moving into that resistance. Right now, they are playing a game here. This game is, I guess, who's right? And in my view, in my opinion, whether it's 6 months from now, 12 months from now, both gold and silver are going to be higher. This might be the time. Well, let's talk about when would be the time. When would be the time? I need to take a breath here. 1 second. Here we go. Jordan SLR. Jordan SLR. Could you talk about the SLR not being smarted? No. Jack, Andy, everyone. I guess Garcia. What's going on? SLR calling all over the place. Look, let's call it as it is. It was on February the 25th on this channel that I brought everyone's attention to the SLR before anyone knew what it was or was talking about it. And then again on March the 4th, 2 videos that day talking about the SLR, what it meant, and then bringing it to your attention this Wednesday as the FOMC met. Tuesday before they met, I told you about what was going on, what we needed to do. Powell did say that they're going to be addressing it. He didn't say what they're going to do. He didn't say whether or not they're going to basically cease it or extend it. I assume they're going to extend it. We don't know. It's still a wild card. But no, today's not the morning to be talking about it. So we're already on top of that, right? And now we're waiting. It's not extended. Is that what you're trying to say? They addressed it now. Thank you, Jack. And they're not extending it. And what's the market's reaction? The most important. Let's check back in about 20 minutes together and look at the market's reaction. Not extended. That's what Zoltan had said would happen. Zoltan was Credit Suisse Zoltan, former Fed insider, Bank of St. Louis, said that they will not extend it. He's right. What are the ramifications? We'll see. Probably if the Fed is not extending it, there's good reason they don't need to do it. All right. Let's not worry about, or I'm not worried about it at this moment. So let's keep going with what we're looking at over here. Gold and silver. And I get to say, listen, who else was ahead of it as far I know that I was the most ahead of it out of anyone you know, right? Now we find out they're not extending it. This is what, well, I didn't share it with you. I was aware that quote unquote experts within the industry were saying that it was not going to be extended. I'm more interested in the market reaction. I think the market's going to shake it off right here. We'll see. I know. Let's see. Listen, never bet against Jordan. That's all I'm saying over here. Gold and silver right over here into the resistance right here. Are they going to bounce back in? I would not be looking to take, by the way, a position on gold. It is back 20% off the all-time high. During the crisis, gold only came off 15%, by the way. That's pretty interesting, right? So, Andy, maybe there's a delay on the stream. We just said that. Maybe there's a delay in the stream. So what else are we looking at? So gold, I'm so sorry I got off my flow and I need to find my flow. I can't get the flow if the thumbs up aren't flying. It's just the way it works over here. I got to get it back over here. All right. I want to talk about gold and silver. I think they're at an important inflection point. It's time to see what's going on. So gold has pulled back 20% off its all-time high. Is that a place to look to accumulate gold? We do it with the fundamentals and the technicals, by the way. I'm going to be pointing out what would be a technical signal to perhaps take a position into gold right now. It wouldn't be just off the 20% pullback. Why price continues this correction over here. It's correcting because of the rising yields. Everyone's aware of that. The dollar, by the way, has been pretty muted. The dollar has so much pressure against it that it's ridiculous, including that $1.1 trillion of the treasuries being unleashed upon the market. The U.S. government just keeps talking about trillions and trillions they want to spend fixing cancer, fixing, the infrastructure and everything they could just throw money at. And then we're looking at the Federal Reserve about to, well, did you see yesterday? Who's the guy? The irrelevant dinosaur. Schiff. Speaking of gold, did you see Peter Schiff? I mean, man, if that guy was focused not on Bitcoin, he would be adding so much to the conversation. If that guy just didn't need to be a constant shill for gold, he would be adding so much macro thought to the conversation. But he's talking about that the Fed's next move is going to be expanding their QE purchases. Jerome Powell is pretty clear that there's no way that they're thinking of tapering. They're not thinking of tapering, right? And let's see. I think Schiff might be right on that. We will continue to consult that either which way. There was a comment I wanted to bring up. It was about right over here. Oh, I lost it. It was on Twitter. It was my boy VJ, and he's saying, listen, in the next 10 years, gold is going to become basically irrelevant. I don't agree with that whatsoever. Now, it's possible, and we will reevaluate 4 years from now, 4.5 years from now, as gold, as Bitcoin surpasses the market cap of gold, we'll be reevaluating that current situation. Now, right now, you have countries like Poland who are like, boom, we're on the buy. We're picking up massive amounts, tons of gold right now. China, Russia continue. Gold, by the way, if you're interested in privacy, owning that physical stuff. I mean, Bitcoin's not private. You all do know and understand that. You see all the problems, and anyway, the coin joins on Bitcoin are fighting it out right now. Whether it's Samurai and what's the other one? Either which way, there. I mean, problems and issues. Bitcoin's a public ledger. Is there a use case for gold as countries and central banks own it? Do you think they're just going to give up on their most important asset? It was JP Morgan himself who said that gold is money, and it will continue to be, in my opinion, no question about that. Very bullish on the precious metal. What about a technical signal over here? What would send me to say, although, listen, I want to be very clear for all those that are just joining us, going back 1 year ago or 11 months ago, I was very clear under the current market conditions, you're going to see Bitcoin demolish gold, and you're going to see silver outperform gold. Let's take a look at that over here. You can see over here, this is gold and silver. Let me come back to the 3-day chart. And there it was, right? Because I went back to when the Fed started QE back in 2008. I knew going into the crisis, gold destroys both Bitcoin and gold, but coming out of it under the easy monetary conditions, you see silver absolutely run havoc against gold. That continues over here. Listen, that's going to be the trend of, let's say, call it at least 2021. We don't need to go further than that. That's going to continue. Look at gold versus Bitcoin, and that's an ugly chart. Let's fix that for y'all, right? What's going on? Is that the chart I'm looking for or what? Oh, it's a 3-day chart. Apologize for that. Let me drop back down to the 18. Remember these areas over here when I told you, look, this is the place to lean in? About up 54% since then. Gold is about to make its next leg, I believe, against gold to the downside. It's going to start crushing it. Bitcoin's on the launch pad. It's on the launch pad. Is it going to launch? Are we going into price discovery? Are we making that next leg up? It sure looks like it to me. But that all being said, now come back to gold over here, right? It seems pretty clear. I would not be taking above this resistance over here back into the channel. I would not be looking to, for the reasons I just outlined, because silver's a better trade, because Bitcoin's a better trade, I would not be looking to take a gold position here. Nevertheless, from a technical standpoint, what would entice me to say that we're ready getting, there's a trend line over here. You can't see it because right now it is currently dimmed. I'll bring it back into play if I ever need to. Is it? I don't know. How about that? I don't know. And then so I'm going to move over to silver. Silver's a little bit different. Silver's been holding up much better than gold. Silver is trading sideways, consolidating sideways after that bull. It's very bullish over here. Silver continues to try to consolidate under my 2630 resistance. A breakout above, is that the place to get into silver? Or are we looking a little higher around 2685? I'm seeing all of that resistance ahead of me. I think it's that. I'm going to move this up so I'm safer, and I'm looking for a safer place to attack. It's not just yet, but I am telling you right now, gold and silver, I'm seeing how they're consolidating into that resistance. They both look very bullish to me. I would not be surprised if we start seeing them, let's say, bounce, but it's not the time for me to pick up either one of them. And that's that. Thank you, Kenneth. Thank you, Kenneth. Let's see the market's reaction so far, getting ready to open up in 2 minutes. The first 30 minutes could be a telling. Right now, they are basically unchanged. Market's digesting everything. What else are we looking at over here? Ethereum, by the way, very similar setup to Bitcoin. It is also on the launch pad. It's also getting ready to launch. Is that a reverse head and shoulders on silver? On gold. What, Jordan? Where are you? All over the place, my boy. No, this is over here. Look, this would be the head. This would be the left shoulder. This would be the right shoulder. I see it, and then instead of this neckline, I cloned this up yesterday, put it up over there. That's the launch pad. That's the trigger. It looks like it's getting ready. It looks like it's getting ready to me. Both Bitcoin and Ethereum looking pretty good over here. All right, let's talk about some other stuff over here together. The future of DeFi, I shared this with you yesterday. The future of DeFi is on Bitcoin. You've heard me say for a while, listen, Bitcoin is the decentralized cryptocurrency. Anything that could be built on any altcoin could be built on top of Bitcoin and will be. Let's see what happens. And then over here, following up on that, we had Matt. The future of DeFi is on Ethereum, period. Boom. Well, I don't know about you, but I'm open to innovation no matter where it takes place. I'm not telling you just because it's going to be built on top of Bitcoin, it's not going to be built on top of Ethereum, Cardano, or anywhere else or anything like that. Actually, I root for all of the crypto space. I really just want I'm all about building good things and letting the free market be the free market. Now, there are things to understand, such as the first mover's advantage. However, DeFi is not just on Ethereum, period. Anthony Pompilano yesterday, look at this. The timing was crazy. He just submitted a proposal to invest $10 million into, my pronunciation is going to be absolutely terrible, but I'm going to show you in a second. Bitcoin is decentralized digital sound money. It's imperative we build decentralized infrastructure too. This company, just coming to my attention off of that, what is this? Sovereign? Is that how you pronounce that? I'm not sure. Listen, this is your keys, your control, whether you're trading on leverage, on margin trading, borrowing and lending like on BlockFi. I'm not sure what this is. And I need to spend a lot of time. I already registered. I need to spend a lot of time figuring out what they offer, how mature it is, why I don't think it's mature enough for myself yet. Do I believe that in the coming, let's say, year, it's going to be? I sure hope so. I would much prefer controlling my keys no matter what I'm doing with my Bitcoin. This is absolutely beautiful over here. By the way, decentralized Bitcoin trading lending platform. Once you have control and access to this is the future right here. It's being built on top of Bitcoin. Take notice. I continue over. This was shared by my boy. Brad sent this over to me yesterday. Great article. I'm going to be talking about it with you next week further. It's about the shadow banking system. Anything that's not, let's say, in quote unquote, air quotes, insured by the FDIC, the shadow banking. It goes into very well into BlockFi. It talks about the current risks the current situation of what it is, as well as affirming the authors, at least, confidence and belief in it. It does a very good balanced view of talking about just the current situation, being that I have funds with BlockFi, being that is one of my recommended exchanges, actually the only place for over a year I've bought Bitcoin at. I'm going to go over that with you so that you also understand what the risks are. I continue to hold funds. It's locked out over there. I continue to hold funds on BlockFi, just significant, let's just say, and they continue to grow. I feel safe. I'm not moving them out. Next week, by the way, I will be showing all of you in the training session a little bit about what I've done on BlockFi, what I'm looking at as far as where I'm looking at towards the top, possibly to take out future loans against BlockFi, and how I would do that to avoid any type of liquidation. I'm going to get into it. I would consider it, let's call it, very advanced and something that you do not want to miss. And very important as well. Could I see myself, if this market matures over here, pivoting or diversifying from BlockFi? 100%. Do I have any concerns about BlockFi as it is right now? Absolutely not. I do not. Now, this author also, by the way, because you heard it here first, goes on to point out that, listen, what BlockFi is basically a VC play. Now, all of you who've been following my channel for over a year have heard me say that from the very beginning. In my opinion, BlockFi is a VC play. That's what it continues to be. Anyway, fun stuff that I'm looking forward to get into. Jordan, I've listened to CTM each morning on delay. If you're watching the video right now, if you're here with us and you're watching the replay, you are truly here with us right now. And thank you for being here. I've been a trader for 20 years, but you are a master. I'm a business owner with too much to do, so I rely on your brilliance to guide my macro trades. Already my wealth is up over 500% in the past year. Thank you, friend, riding this bull with you. Thank you for sending that to me. I want to focus on this. We're going to focus in on this during our upcoming training session. I'm going to do like a training session on using my FX book, what you should be looking at, and posting your weekly recaps to help keep yourself accountable. Crucial. This is the work that Greg and Gene are doing inside Mechanical CTM in Discord. On a side note, I'm really glad I decided to work with Mechanical CTM method. My training has improved immensely. I can see what Greg was talking about when his channel was created. Trying to trade a bunch of different chart patterns and trend lines caused confusion and inconsistency for me. Focusing instead on horizontal support resistance to give me clarity. I really appreciate what you guys have done here, and I'm looking forward to what is to come. This, again, this is Alan over here showing on the 4 hour. I could see the reverse head and shoulders right over there. Alan showing us over here this bull flag starting to break out. I think we're back into it. It's on the ramp. She hasn't made the move yet. There was other things I wanted to show with you. I can't show them to you, but I can come over to likes, and this is going to be it, and we can continue this. Man, the student investor, I love life. Gotta like that. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, we're good. Let's come back into real time. Let's see what those equity markets are doing right here. Open 5 minutes, unchanged on the day. So far, whether they're reacting negatively to the SLR news, I'm going to check the 10 years for that. Yeah, and they're up. They're up. That's what the current market reaction is right now. Is that putting pressure right now on Bitcoin? I just want to know a little bit. Bitcoin's still up on the session, not too much. So listen, a lot of people FOMO to initial reactions, right? If you ever traded the news, if you ever traded high risk, high impact news events, you understand how you could get whipsawed around in the initial release of a news, especially within that first, call it 20-minute to 45-minute window. I don't trust a market's initial reaction, but what we see later today could be big signal. Again, just to watch out for the risk. Now, I don't think it's going to happen, but it could. If we are trading below this area here on the Nasdaq, if the Nasdaq bleeds out today, that's not good. That the market may continue pushing and pushing and pushing the Fed and try to get the Fed to act. If that is developing or occurring, I'll talk about with you. I'm not going to talk about it unless that's developing. There are many cases where the market will actually push the Fed to act. I hope we don't get into that. If we do, we could see some ugliness before things then obviously boom back. All right, gold and silver, by the way, on the SLR news are continue to off their highs, but continue to hold on to gains for the day. It looks like it's going to be a whipsaw day to me. That's what I'm foreseeing, a whipsaw day. Yeah. Jordan, what do you see will cause Ethereum to outpace Bitcoin? Just speculation. No, Terry, nothing more than speculation during the alt season and bull market phase. That's it. That's all I see. That's all I see. Boom, 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 boom. Are you planning on doing? No, Carl. Today's Friday. Happy Friday. I don't ever do Friday videos in the afternoon, ever. So there's no way. But yeah, and then we're going to, anyway. No, the next time that you will see me, it will not be this weekend at all. That's for sure. It will be on Monday morning as we get ready at 9 o'clock a.m. Eastern time for our live stream. Kicking it off on Monday. Obviously, I'm always active over the weekends on Twitter if you want to follow or see what's going on. What else are we looking at over here? Alan, always bringing it. Yeah, I just want to highlight the moderators again, Peter. Thank you for doing that. Thank you for spreading and sharing that love because they really, really continue just to be absolute beasts, helping this channel flow and grow. I did spend, I would say about 20 minutes this morning deleting spam comments off of the channel because it's important for me that it's kept clean. Obviously, it's time I wish I could be used preparing for the current stream ahead, but nevertheless, a lot of moving pieces to keep making Conquering the Markets what it is. So what else are we looking at? FUD-free Friday. FUD-free Friday over here, right? Yeah, let them fly over there. It's okay. This is a quad witching Friday, right? Jason, absolutely. I'm just like, I feel like we done did what we need to do. But nevertheless, I kind of want to stick around to see what the market reaction is over the next 20 minutes or so. It's very important for me. It's seeing whatever the news event is and then seeing the market reaction. That is the key. It's not trying to guess with like, if this happens, what will happen. That's child's play. And that's what that is. So there we're looking at. With markets kind of at a standstill. Bitcoin and Ethereum haven't moved. S&P is definitely off its highs. Nasdaq now going red, but this is still, like I said to you earlier, very bullish market structure, especially on the S&P coming out of the bull flag, new all-time highs. I could see this bit of a correction over here. It looks like it's listen, I feel like I think we close green, but I'm ready, and I'm ready. I said it from as soon as we got on this morning. I said if we close ugly red, that's bad. That could be very bad going into the weekend, and then we'll just take it if that were to occur. But just so you know, this not financial advice, but I feel like we close green today on the equities. Let's see if we're able to shake that off. And if we do, by the way, that's pretty bullish. Market shaking off, no extension of the SLR. Obviously, the Fed is not worried about it. We'll see what happens, and we'll keep going from there. So is that, anyway, I don't want to get into that type of stuff right now with y'all. But what I do want to check in, we covered oil already. We got oil. Boom, 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 boom. That's all right, KJ. We had a fire week. Each session, 1,000 likes. Deserved. When it's deserved, give it. You know, if you enjoy being here, if you learn anything new, absolutely. It's at JCL Capital. But Keith, just look below in the description below. You'll see that link to the Twitter over there for sure. Yeah, nice. What's going on with Cardano? Let's give it a little bit of love and check out what's going on over there, right? So we had that ramp over here. Finally, that breakout. This was, again, on the Coinbase Pro listing, and then a sell-off, but it stopped out at some, see the mouse, local support. Obviously, just like the S&P right now, has an immensely bullish structure in place. So does Cardano. So does Cardano. If you want to know more about Cardano, Brandon, Crypto Trades and Tech, has been all over it, continues to be all over it, putting out beautiful content all the time. Go check that out. 100%. Go check that out. Always ABL, always be learning, my friend. Absolutely. Absolutely. $2. So, but I digress. Thank you. Thank you, my brother, for sharing that over there. That's Brandon's Crypto Trades and Tech. Heath's too. I see Heath's content continues to be fire, helping people, teaching people. Heath on Trade Talk. Absolutely check it out, my friends. You're going to like it. It's conquering the markets all day long. That's right, Matty H. Matty H. Brandon's the man. So is Heath. No question about that. Boom, 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 boom. So S&P feeling the heat, but Nasdaq already bouncing. Nasdaq already bouncing off there, off that strong support and lows. What else is the dollar doing? Look at that. That's something to watch. This is something we need to just watch if we break above 92.54. At that point, where I'm looking for continued dollar strength unless it breaks back down below. We'll keep a watch on that. Gold and silver both unchanged right now. And yeah, Bitcoin feeling a little bit of pressure right now. And that's that. That's that. Thoughts on the SLR? Yeah, this channel was the first to tell you about what was developing in the SLR. February the 25th, way before you knew what it was. That's my thoughts. And right now, my thoughts on it is wait and see how the market reacts as the Fed has not extended it, right? It wasn't a surprise to anyone here. We were way ahead of the curve, always worrying about what the greatest risks to the most important trade that matters are. And it's not, some government coming against Bitcoin. It's not the Chinese miners, right? It's Jerome Powell, the Federal Reserve, and the central banking system. That's the only thing that could derail Bitcoin during this bull market phase that it's currently in. And that's that, my friends. All right. Boom, 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 boom. That's right, Peter. Well, thank you, Peter. Peter, your heart has already done that. There's no question about that, and I'm grateful for that, and I'm grateful for you. You know, so here we are, friends. We're gonna call it a light session over here because I want to wake the family up with some daddy breakfast today. I wish you all have a beautiful, beautiful weekend. We will not be doing any videos until we get together on Monday. Monday's going to be a strong session. Looking forward to it. I wish you all a beautiful, blessed weekend, right? And I'll be hanging out and following you all on Twitter. That's it. Let's go out with some beautiful. It's Friday, right? I'm gonna play the head snack video. I'm gonna play the taco day. Because every day here is a taco day. There's no question about that. Let's go out with some fun. Boom, boom, boom. All right, here we go. I'm gonna drop the beat right now.
Markets, analyzing the charts, hitting projected targets within the margin. Find the flow, sip the matcha, and wait for the waves to come in with lobsters. The kind-hearted Jordan Fosters, working smarter, not harder to move the markers. On his way to conquer, trading and investing, drinking the coffee while reflecting on the blessing. The markets are not crashing, the prices might be slashing, just to pretend they're in fashion. Hit the like button, comments, and smash it. Boom, boom, Jordan in the room, grab the bull by the horns and to the moon. Flow from the plateau, make the play. Boom, boom, it's a taco day.
Oh, I gotta pause this.
It's a taco day.
We gotta pause this. This is very important over here. This is probably the most important thing of the episode over there. Boom. Nordell the noodle. 1 hour of self-congratulation. Yeah. So, listen, this is look, the free world still exists, my brother. 100%. The free world exists. You don't have to be here. The people that are here, and by the way, it's not like they just tuned in today. People that have been here since the channel's inception continue to be here for several months and a year or longer or whatever. It's because it's changing their life and the lives of those that are around them, right? So whatever, Nordell, you don't need to be here, my brother, at all. It's actually, see you later. Bye. Don't ever come here again. That's fine. Remember, I'm trying to take everyone I can take with me. And everyone that wants to be here is so important to me. You have no idea. Anyone who's here knows how important it is to me. Your success is so important to me. Your future is so important to me because in me changing your life, you're going to change everyone's life around you. That's profound. But listen, if you don't want to be here or you got to take issue because you got some conflict, then just peace out, my brother. Lots of love. See you later. That's all. But I'm going to continue doing what I do, what I need to do to continue maintaining that confidence that I need to conquer the markets. And let me tell you, it's not only 20 plus years of constant learning, always looking to improve market experience, knowledge, practice. You have to be confident in your analysis. And the only way you can be confident is if you're constantly correct. And if you're wrong, no problem. You have to admit you're wrong really quickly. I don't have the luxury to be wrong. I got to get on the right side of the trade right away. It's how I do it. And listen, I'm just going to tell you straight out. There are some people who are like, listen, Jordan, when there's any negativity or people out there trolling, do not acknowledge it. There's other people here who want to learn. That's great, but I am who I am, and I've been the same Jordan that started this channel 14 months ago. And anytime someone came out here a little crooked, there's no question I'm going to address that because they're not the only person out there who has them crooked thoughts, right? So by me addressing someone who's well out of whack, Nordell, like straight up, here's the deal. You're going to have a hard life. You're going to have a very difficult life. Why? Because instead of being able to embrace the success of those around you, you're always going to find fault with it because you're not successful and you never will be. Sorry, that's the truth. And that's what I do. I spit the truth, right? And yeah, if that helps someone else because of poor Noodle over here, if poor Noodle over here just helps someone else be like, wait a second, I was looking at this wrong, right? And now I want to, Jordan, I used to think that you were, anyway, that's that. And that's how we're going out, No, it's not. We're going out with some tunes, and we're going out with our jam.
It's a taco day. It's a taco day.
Big shout out to Head Snack. Big shout out to Head Snack. Do you know how much time it took him to do that for us? So grateful for that, my brother. Thank you for that and sharing that love. And let's go out with our jam over here, setting the mood that we're going to go into the weekend with. S&P feeling the heat over here. Thank you, Hunter, my brother. Thank you so much. You have a fantastic weekend as well. Yeah, I'll go back to that in 1 second. Hey, it's all good in the hood. It's all good. All right. So a few more thoughts. By the way, Martha, may God bless you, my sister, for sure. You've been here for a year, and you've been a constant blessing. There's no question about that. Yes and no, right? Yes and no. I mean, I spent my childhood, by the way, I used to read in bed with a flashlight, the gospel, and I would just find the words of Jesus, right? And just read those words, right? But we do know how Jesus reacted, right? Whether it was to the Pharisees, right? Or whether it was to the money changers, right? There's absolutely nothing wrong with addressing behavior that needs to be addressed. And it's not for Noodle. It's for everyone else who's in a similar situation where they don't have yet enough time to understand what we do here and how we do it. And the fruit of what has been done. Know them by their fruit, right? And just so way, by the way, if I'm addressing Noodle, it's for the benefit of someone else, If Noodle's lost, then bye. I'm so sorry. And if anytime you want to come back to the fold, my brother, there's no question. You are always welcome. But it doesn't, even though you might sound like my voice is excited, I'm not excited. That's the New Yorker in me. It's who we are and what we are, and that's what it is. And I love it. All right. So anyway, that's that. And thank you for that, though. Thank you, Martha. But anyway, I'm just hanging out with my fam, talk and letting us know what's going on in my mind. That's all. Let's go out again with, I want to play at least Taco Tuesday. I'm in no rush to get away from y'all, and I want to hear this flow like the gem it is. By the way, if you could give Head Snack a like over here, that's huge. Please do.
Conquer the markets, analyzing the charts, hitting projected targets within the margin. Find the flow, sip the matcha, and wait for the waves to come in with lobsters. The kind-hearted Jordan Fosters, working smarter, not harder to move the markers. On his way to conquer, trading and investing, drinking the coffee while reflecting on the blessing. The markets are not crashing, the prices might be slashing, just to pretend they're in fashion. Hit the like button, comments, and smash it. Boom, boom, Jordan in the room, grab the bull by the horns and to the moon. Flow from the plateau, make the play. Boom, boom, it's a taco day.
It's a taco day. It's a taco day.
All right, just watch for that whipsaw day. It's what I saw coming. I don't know if it's going to play out like that, but I definitely thought we were going to see a lot of whipsaw. Now, triggered by the SLR for sure. It was not triggered, or it could be triggered by the quadruple witching. If it's triggered by the SLR, if the market shakes that off and closes green and strong, that is a very bullish signal from the market. Adversely, just so you all know, watch the Nasdaq. If it's an ugly close, there's more pain ahead. That's how I see it coming into this Friday session over here. Let's see how it plays out. I'm not going to update you later in the afternoon. If anything's going on, we'll be talking over on Twitter. That's for sure when we touch base again on Monday. The only thing that I wanted to add and say, so in my opinion, in my self-assessment, and I only want to call it as it is, this was not a fire session by any means, shape, or form. But we are coming off, I think, about almost 2 weeks in a row of absolute fire after fire after fire sessions. Every day doesn't need to be fire. We just need to be doing what we need to do to continue to get where we need to go, right? And right now, that is making sure that we take full advantage of this bull market phase of Bitcoin and keep our eyes on the exit so that we make sure we take a full advantage of what's going on. Anyway, and everyone, have a beautiful day. Thank you for sharing yourselves with me. I am a better person for it. May God bless you, and I will talk to you soon. Anthony, happy birthday, brother. Happy birthday. Have a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful day. May you be surrounded by the joy and love that you bring to everyone. That's it, everyone. Have a wonderful weekend, and I will talk to you soon. Thank you, Brian, so much for saying that. That's the note to go out on for myself, making my life better since I found this channel. When the channel was created with no viewers, the About section said, my goal ultimately is to help as many people around the world live better lives. I can only imagine the lives that everyone here will touch. That's exponential growth. Right now, in this world that needs light, we are going to be the light. We are going to be the love. We work hard at what we do. It takes that really solid work ethic to do great things. It takes that perspective, that time horizon. Could you imagine what we'll be able to accomplish in the next 10 years? Wow. Everyone, have a beautiful, beautiful day, and I'll talk to you later.